Life goes to go and say,
Yeah. Hello, good evening, everybody. So happy to be out here with you guys. So we actually promised that we were coming to talk about boys, their struggles, how life has been with them, raising a boy child, how different it is from raising a girl child, and so on. So thank you, everyone who will be seeing this or who is online already. Thank you to the parents of our boy child, our girl child. Thank you for all you've been doing in training a child. It's not easy. And for every mother out there, for every father out there, we just want to say thank you. Thank you to the teachers. Thank you to the men out there. Every man that has been there for a little boy. We just want to say thank you. Thank you for all you do. I really want to appreciate men this today being their very own day, for their efforts they put, every day to being who they are. Thank you so much. But today I want to say something that will really concern every boy child. We want to talk about a pressing issue. I'm speaking from the angle of a woman, so I won't say much. So I'm going to leave the floor for a guy to tell us their struggle. And welcome, Miracle. Thanks for joining. So let a guy tell us their struggle, then we'll talk together how we can work on their challenges. What can be everybody out there, you can give your idea on how and what best way you can train a boy child. So thank you. This is
hello guys, good evening everyone. Evening, morning or afternoon, whichever time you are watching.
Yeah.
So my name is Jato Muhammad Amin, but I'm popular on this space as the Turban Guy. So I'm a student, a content creator, a cinematographer, and I work a 9 to 5.
Celebrate the boy child.
So from everything I just said now, this is just an example of what surviving as a boy or as a man in Nigeria is. So firstly, let me join voices with every other people celebrating the boy child, the male, the men today, because on a sincere note, men are almost never celebrated. There are only two genuine times where men are celebrated, which is the births. When they say it's a bouncing baby boy, then they celebrate, and the other time is likely either when he's successful or when he dies. So it's just the whole thing, around raising a male child, surviving as a man. It's more like a misery, but I don't know, maybe someday we'll uncover that. So what we're actually going to speak about today is surviving as a male child. And one of the main problems about survival, generally for everybody, is the country we are in, Nigeria. Africa as a whole, the system is not working. So it does not actually matter if you're actually doing the right thing. You may be doing the right thing and not getting the right results. So that is crazy. One of the pressing issues that a male child currently faces, or let me not be too fast, from the period of childbearing, you actually know that a male child will likely not survive the whole pregnancy period as compared to a female child, because from the pregnancy period, a male child is actually very, 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 very easy, or the fetus of a male child is not so strong. So it just takes the grace of God to actually give birth to a male child. That's why we have more cases of male child abortions or miscarriage as compared to a female child. Raising a male child is actually also very, very hard, because it's no news that men come to the world and they have this natural sense of wanting to rule, this stubbornness and all. So raising them is crazy. And now, after raising a male child, the joy and wish for every parent is to actually see that that male child, that their son actually succeeds, that their husband succeeds. Whichever male in their family, they just want them to succeed. And then that's where the whole pressure of success comes to a male child. Is that whole lot of pressure to succeed on a male aspect as compared to a woman. I'm going to give an example now that a woman can actually be uneducated. And then she'll not be wealthy and she'll end up doing well tomorrow, because all it's going to take is just for a man who is educated, who is wealthy, to just find her attractive, decides to marry her, and boom, he'll give her a good life. But now on the other side, there is never going to be a situation where a man who is uneducated, who is poor, ends up with a woman that is educated and wealthy, because on a true sense, there's actually no handsome or no good looking poor man. That's very, 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 very crazy. There's 90% more of expectations on a man's side to succeed than a woman. Everybody wants to see a man succeed. And then as a man, you just naturally have this sense of responsibility to want to take care of things. You just have this feeling that I should do this, I should do that, I'm supposed to be responsible for this and that. So that natural sense of wanting to take care of things, handle things, just makes you want to succeed. Because on a real sense, people who actually handle things, or people who can take control of things, are people who are successful, who have money. If you have money now, you can control a lot of things. If you have younger ones, you can take care of them. If you eventually get married, you can take care of your wife, and most importantly, you can take care of yourself. But that rarely happens, because you rarely see a man even taking care of himself. 90% of the men today struggling are not even struggling for themselves. They want to actually give themselves a better life for another people to enjoy, either for their family to enjoy or for the generation they will bring to enjoy. So that is some of the things. That high sense of responsibility on a man's side, wanting to succeed. It's one of the things that makes the whole success. I don't know how to put the word. The whole success line hard for a man. It's not easy to actually come from nothing and become successful as a man. So I'm taking myself as an example. Currently, I work a 9 to 5 in a clinic, which you are streaming from. I work a 9 to 5 as a janitor. Then I'm still a student going to school, and now I am a mobile cinematographer. I'm a content creator. Now, this is actually 4 things. It's sounding rather easy, but it's difficult. And then I know multitasking myself is hard on me. But I have no other option, because like they say, it's go hard or go home. And as a man, you don't have that option of even trying to go home. You have to go hard. The circumstances and situation in which we were born in, we don't want to stay in that situation, so we have to actually try our best to make a difference. And now, somebody who wants to make a difference in this part of the world we find ourselves, a country where the education system does not work, the government does not work, there is no set pattern or standard that if you go this way, you actually become successful. So you have to try as many routes as you can, and that's where the whole problem comes from. Because 99% of all the legal and good routes or routes to success are very, very hard. It's something that is 99% a chance of not working, and just that 1% faith that it will work. But now, if you see all the wrong things or all the bad routes to success, they are actually the ones that have that 70% chance. The issue of fraud today, fraud in Nigeria is very, 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 very high. in the top ranking of countries with the most fraudsters. Nigeria is in the top 10. Nigeria is among the top 10. And then you see the whole issue of drugs.
And every other
reports is showing that Nigeria is the 4th country that consumes cannabis the most. Now, the whole cannabis, it's not as if foreigners are the ones selling it. Nigerians are the ones selling the cannabis to Nigerians. Nigerians are the ones that are now having to do fraud, do drugs. The whole issue of kidnapping.
So please let me cut you short. I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you short.
No problem.
So, asking this, what is the quality of men we have in our country today, or we have in our generation today?
Okay.
What are the qualities of men? Like, what kind of what are the words like?
Okay.
The caliber of men. Because what I see is that in those days we used to have very responsible kind of men. We used to have men that stand out to be men. You understand? Men that want to be called men. But in our generation, we see people that are boys wanting to become women. And I'm like, what is really going on? So can you speak on that?
One of the whole reason affecting the men of this generation, because the current men we have are men that I would say that they are unworthy, men that are irresponsible, and men that can't act, are not men that stand their ground. You see the Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and Gen Beta generation. That has this whole internet is now setting the trend standard to live.
Yeah.
So I can actually just wake up tomorrow and start doing what I see somebody doing without even knowing why they do it.
Yes.
Now, if we are going to talk about why men are wanting to be women, is that around the world, if you check globally, men that act feminine or are actually gay in nature, it's just crazy that they have a kind of higher ground than men who just wants to be men.
I don't understand. What do you
just see? For example, now you just see, imagine what it will be for me to actually be a manager to maybe a top female celebrity.
Yeah.
But you just see her just look, because a man is actually acting like a woman, she just makes him a PA or makes him a.
Okay. And then they have easy access.
They have easy access.
Yes.
And then you just see people find them weird, and then they just have that attention. And there's one thing with fame and attention. You can actually monetize fame and attention if you actually know what you are doing. Once people are like wondering why is this one, you can actually start setting a trend, start creating a kind of dress code. We've seen people, everybody just wants to be like that. They just see that, wow, she's doing well. And then when there's attention on you, endorsements will start coming. Nobody will actually wonder that this one is. They see that this person has that ground and controls social audience. Brands will start contacting you, and then brands will not just go and contact the guy for being normal, but now they will contact you for being abnormal in this generation.
Okay, so you are trying to say when people behave abnormally, they are more celebrated.
Yes, than people that behave normal.
Okay.
And it's actually very, very crazy in this generation.
Obviously.
The truth is that they say good is good even if nobody is doing it.
Very well.
And bad is bad even if everybody is doing it.
That is true.
But our generation now, we are normalizing, doing bad. Just use a kind of name to cover it. So these days, a guy who is not going the wrong route, who is not trying to do fraud, who is not trying to sell drugs, you just see him as the guy that sabi, he does not want to do. And then people that, because it's crazy that you see a 16-17-year-old child in Nigeria, a country that does not work. If the country works, but you see in Nigeria of 17-18 riding a car of like 30 million, and then he's celebrated. This person has no job, he probably has no degree, because you cannot actually have any degree at 16, 17, 18. And even if you have
and
degree,
nobody is asking what you are doing to make money.
Yes. And now you see somebody doing the wrong route now. A boy of like 20 is riding a car of like 60 million. A car that an average Nigeria with the current minimum wage of 77,000 will probably not buy in his 10-15 years of work or service. So then, and then this generation, like I said, we are now the generation that follows trend. Nobody wants to follow what we know. What is good, everything that is good is known, and what is bad is known. But everybody just wants to follow what they think works. And if you look at the things that